I've worked for almost all of the major cosmetic companies and all of the major women's fashion magazines. And particularly, I've focused on covers. I stopped counting at 750. Years ago, I established myself in the cosmetic area as making these skin tones that glowed and were perfectly balanced and had minimal retouching necessary. Now in the digital world, we've come up with it's sort of a way of imparting to the skin tone a sense of moisture, translucency, and transparency. The most important thing is what the photograph looks like. If it's technically perfect, but it's not a great photograph, it doesn't have any value. Another factor that was a great disadvantage in the analog world was so much of this was out of your control. The joke that I used to make was the color of your print is being determined by somebody who's overworked, underpaid, working at 12 o'clock at night in a lab somewhere downtown, and he's deciding what color your print should look like. I was never happy with that. In fact, generally, most of my print jobs got done 3 times, and after 3 times I was just too frustrated and I accepted that job. I was never happy with the color printing that I got from the best labs that were doing the color printing at the time. When I saw my first Epson inkjet print years ago, my reaction was similar to when I started doing the digital capture. I wasn't thrilled about it, but I could see that this was going to be the future. And the great appeal that it had to me was if I learned about this process and had the control over it, I could do it myself. And you know, here it is years later that now I have the ultimate control and I can produce the ultimate in a digital print. I think the biggest change for me with the 900 series of Epson printers with the HDR ink set is that since a lot of the work that I do involves subtle gradations and colors in the skin tones, I'm getting a much smoother tonal transition and much more accurate skin tone reproduction. I'm also getting sharpness that reveals all the subtleties and details in the digital capture. It's sort of like there's a veil that's been lifted, you know, from in front of the print, and I'm seeing exactly what I have in the digital capture. In this stage of my career, the print is the ultimate. It's what I'm all about. When I shoot photographs, I focus on technique and lighting and everything that I'm doing to give me what I think is going to be the best print, and that's what you're looking at right here, right now. When I shot this picture, I was thinking about what that was going to look like in a huge print. For me, the most exciting thing about the 900 series of printers from Epson is the fact that no longer do I feel that there is any kind of a struggle with realizing my vision on paper. I simply prepare the file according to my very fastidious workflow and I print it. And the printer is giving me the expression of that vision without any struggle. To me as an artist, the only thing that matters is what's hanging in front of me here. How we got there, it's not important, you know? We're there now, and it's better than it's ever been for me in the history of making color prints.